Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, WWE's White Rabbit teases continue. Is the big reveal happening on SmackDown?
Brand warfare is gone. Survivor Series is now. Run!
What? Released AEW star wants WWE return.
And WWE are bringing back an old NXT gimmick match. I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Andy Murray.
We should have went on a 3-day weekend, should we? This is the news.
All right, we're going to kick things off by talking about these White Rabbit teases that have been all over the place. This was really, it started coming to light over the weekend. Well, really on SmackDown. This is 4 consecutive days now, where WWE has played White Rabbit by Jefferson Starship in the arena. Yeah, interesting stuff. They did it during a commercial break at the SmackDown tapings on Friday, so it didn't air or anything, but it started doing the rounds on the internet. Then we got videos from Saturday night's main event, which, funnily enough, took place on Saturday, and Sunday Stunner as well, those 2 house shows over the weekend. More White Rabbit
Great
going
names
on.
for shows, by the way.
On Monday, White Rabbit again, last night, during the commercial at Raw. That's the show. That's the name of the show. It was all over the place. Clips are online. There's one in our news article on the website if you want to see it. But there was also some more overt teases. So there was a point during Raw where Austin Theory was standing backstage next to a QR code. I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But if you scan the QR code, it took you to a video. The video was a game of Hangman.
Love it.
Hangman Adam Page to WWE confirmed. Obviously not, but yeah, you got this game of Hangman. It said feed your head. That was the preceding message. And then
Good motto to live by.
yeah, there you go. Who killed the world was the question. And then the answer was you did, right? When it filled its way in. So lots of interesting stuff going on here. That video concluded on 9/23, 23rd of September, Friday, SmackDown, Salt Lake City, Utah.
And I think it's fairly obvious what the clues are pointing to here, Andy. White Rabbit, Jefferson Starship, Starship Pain, John Morrison's coming back.
Boom, there you go. Johnny Rabbit. Is that going to be his new name? But yeah, I mean, there's lots of teases here, right? There's an hourglass in the bottom corner of last night's video. Karrion Kross.
TikTok.
Also,
Hourglasses don't tick.
Yeah, come on,
Or
Karrion.
talk.
Get your time pieces right. Also, he played a character called White Rabbit in Lucha Underground. So there's a tease. Also, Bray Wyatt, right? Because it's a bit spooky.
Yes, obviously.
First of all. Also, who killed the world? Well, who ate the world? The Eaters of Worlds.
Yeah.
He seems to be brought up every single week with regards to a WWE return. So it could be one of those guys. Could be someone completely different. It could be Roger Rabbit. Who the hell knows? Who else is a white? Hey, it could be Adam Rose's bunny. He might be coming back.
Yes.
What do you reckon of all this silliness?
The Fiend's coming back.
I think it's quite fun.
The flippin' Fiend
The Flippin' Fiend was on the show last night. Maybe.
is coming.
So
Well,
cut through the ring.
Granted.
Yeah.
I like stuff like this, especially when it's not as. The one thing that annoyed me, even though it was just, they do it to the lowest common denominator. Do you remember that? Can you crack the code? And the code was
Yes.
the easiest code
Yeah.
I've ever seen. It was like X + 1 2 J. Brilliant.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
could that possibly be?
Y equals J2.
It's just like, but yeah, stuff. I'm intrigued. SmackDown's huge this week, obviously.
Big boy
Roman Reigns back, tag title match. The big lads just having a big fight.
That's the big.
And then we're
lads.
getting the Fiend back. I'm buzzing.
We're
I
getting
love
the
wrestling
Fiend
right now. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I like stuff like this as well. I like that they're doing it a bit under the radar as well.
Yes.
Like, obviously, during commercial breaks, that creates online buzz because people will clip it and put it up and stuff. And like this, to actually get the proper tease, you had to scan the code and go on. Like, that's quite good. It's not totally like, in your face, here's
No.
a thing that's happening. There was also little bits and pieces like the lights temporarily going out in the main event between Alexa Bliss and Bayley last night. So maybe there's something there as well. Who knows?
I've just figured it out whilst you were talking there. Forget the Fiend. No one cares about him.
I care about the Fiend.
No, we do. I'm joking. But what's when there's no light? Generally, what time of day is it?
Night.
LA night. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Let me talk to you.
Natural fit there.
I'm so excited for LA Knight to arrive on the main roster.
I am and I'm not. I like Maximum Male Models
I do
too
also
much.
love them.
I
But
want like 6 months of this and then Ellie.
Fair enough.
By
Yes.
the time we're all sick of male models,
Impossible.
flip it. Yeah.
Should we do the pose?
Well, yeah. There we. I can't do that. I've got no charisma.
Right, let's talk. War Games, that was, in case you're
Okay.
unaware.
That's
Survivor Series.
I thought you were Ace Steel there.
Survivor Series is no more. Thank God for that. Well, by that I mean the whole brand versus brand, brand warfare. Red
T-shirt
versus blue.
time.
It's gone. It's gone. Thank goodness. The Ringer reporting this on yesterday. I was about to say over the weekend. I keep thinking it's Monday today.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday,
Interviewing Triple H.
Yes, they were chatting to Triple H, and he made the announcement, sort of a 1-2 punch, if you will, Andy. There is no Survivor Series traditional 5-on-5 matches in terms of red versus blue, but instead there are 2 War Games matches. I'm just going to read what Triple H said here. The tradition of the Survivor Series has ebbed and flowed and changed slightly over time. This will be similar to that. This will not be Raw versus SmackDown. It'll be much more storyline driven. I'll still look at it as a traditional component to Survivor Series in there because it's large teams of people competing. We just upped the ante a little with War Games and made it evolve. Yes, 2 War Games matches. One would assume a male and a female match. But yes, this will be the third Survivor Series, Adam, with no traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. The previous ones, of course, 1998 and 2002 when they had the Elimination Chamber. But yeah, they're bringing War Games to the main roster. I like it, and then sometimes I remember it's a bit iffy, War Games, because you have to structure it very, very well. But when it's good, my God, it's good.
Yeah, this is interesting. I think, obviously, the T-shirt time, brand supremacy, all that stuff, you would struggle to find many people who still enjoyed that concept, right? So, yeah, that probably had to go for a while now, particularly when they were doing it previously, and like the draft was like 3 weeks before, and then it's like, okay, these teams are fighting for a brand they've been on for a fortnight. It was a bit, it was
crap. It was crap.
Yeah, I was trying to be polite. It stretched believability.
Yes,
would be the polite way. So they've added War Games, which is an interesting wrinkle. I think the counter argument to putting War Games on there would be, well, these gimmicks should not be a date on a calendar. They should arise when naturally you have 5 people or 4, whoever, how many people you have, who hate each other in 2 different factions, and then you bring it up and it should be an organic storytelling thing. So there's that side of it as well, which I get. For me, personally, and this is just me, I've not really enjoyed many of the WWE War Games. I think they've been spot fests, right? And spot fests are fun.
Yes.
But to me, War Games was always like this intense, hatred-fueled, story-driven thing. It wasn't about putting a bin over your head and jumping off the top, which was ace.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of silly, and it's not really. The exception to that, I think, would be when Dakota Kai turned.
Oh my God! Michael Hammer was there for that.
Yeah, that match was awesome.
Lucky bastard.
That match was awesome. But the exception rather than the rule for me personally. But I will say, a lot better than T-shirt time.
Yeah, I have fond memories of select War Games matches. The Io Shirai bin thing, I still remember being on streams doing that and recreating it in my living room because of the pandemic.
Oh.
Put my own bin on my head and jumped off my sofa.
There you go.
And then you've got, like you say, Dakota Kai's turn. Was that the same one as the Kevin Owens turn up as well?
Yeah, it was.
Damn, Michael
So
Hammer gets good
pop.
tickets. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what they do on the main roster, especially because I saw that graphic doing the rounds. I think it was fan-made. I assume it's fan-made, with all of the bloodline, including, of course, the Honorary Uce, versus just a wild selection of people, which I like.
Kevin and the boys.
Yeah, because it's like, we're not all best mates, this opposing team. We just all hate a different person on that team, which is what Survivor should always have been about. Although I am slightly gutted for once that Brand Warfare's gone, because it's taken away or reduced the chance that we're going to get Bobby Lashley versus Walter, which is tasty. And as Simon Miller pointed out, no Roman Reigns versus Roman Reigns, champion versus champion match.
Roman Reigns punching a mirror. Yeah, there we go. That's that.
Who are they going to get shot?
There's no NXT authority figure anymore, is there? Who's got the gruffest voice on that brand?
Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton. War Games.
What the?
Well, it could be Wade Barrett.
Oh, give it Wade to the end of the season.
Nailed it. Right. Release WWE star. AEW star wants WWE return.
Not shocked by this.
Absolutely minced that. I'm not surprised by this at all. In the words of Nate Diaz, I'm surprised. Malachi / Aleister Black, right? So, this is an interesting situation for sure. Dave Meltzer reporting on Wrestling Observer Radio. I'll just tell you what he said straight up. He wanted out from AEW, and I guess we'll see what happens. Obviously, he wanted to go back to WWE, and yet had a lot of time left on his deal. I think 4.5 years are left on his deal. It's really difficult to keep someone who's unhappy under contract for that length of time. So layers to this. A few weeks ago, we got the report coming through that Malachi Black wanted out of AEW and had that request denied. Then, after All Out, he kind of bowed, waved to the crowd, all of that stuff after his match. And then the report came out that he'd been granted a conditional release. There was no word on what those conditions meant, although if you can put 2 and 2 together, you can probably get 5.5 like we did.
Yeah.
Now there's this talk. He actually wrestled a match for Prestige this weekend against Kid Bandit, which you should watch if you have an IWTV subscription. It's very, very good. But he cut a promo afterwards, Malachi Black did, saying, hey, I'm taking some weeks or months away to recalibrate. He addressed a lot of stuff there. I'm not going to recount the whole thing. But yeah, like, I am not surprised at all that he might look at Triple H's WWE and go, this guy booked me really well in NXT. I want to be part of that again. And if he has been frustrated about his direction in AEW, it seems like a natural fit. Either way, hope the guy's doing okay.
Yes.
You know, a lot of stuff has come out about Malachi, most of it not, you know, healthy kind of thing to talk about. So we won't touch that stuff. But I hope he's doing all right. I hope he's going to be in a good place. And I'm looking forward to seeing him back wherever he goes, because I really like the guy and I will miss him.
Recalibrating, taking some time to yourself, whatever it is, let's just normalize it. Good for him. I don't think whether or not he needed to go away and recalibrate, you'd see him in WWE before the end of this year anyway, probably because of those conditions.
What those conditions might be. Yeah.
But I think he will end up back there for the exact reasons you pointed out, because he was booked crap, he was sat in a room when Vince McMahon ran the main roster, and Triple H can book him well. And I've got a dream feud for you. Never before seen, picture this, Aleister Black versus Cody Rhodes. So.
Never had that one before. No. One last thing. Just kill this narrative before it pops up. We agreed that not letting people go when they ask for their release is bad. And you should just let them go.
Exactly.
Happy. There you go.
A fight pit. That is what we are getting at Extreme Rules.
Pit.
And it's going to be refereed by Pitbull. That's the official story I can break right now. Mr. Worldwide. No, that's not true. The fight bit is, though, because there's going to be a fight pit match between Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. They're all up in each other's business, I believe is the phrase, Andy Murray. Riddle, well, he didn't interfere. He just came out and distracted Seth Rollins to cost him the United States Championship match against Bobby Lashley, like Bobby Lashley needs any bloody help. And then Rollins returned the favour later on in with the tag match. He came out and he got trying to get involved and jump Riddle, blah, 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 blah. They can't stop fighting, including backstage. And then they were offered the fight belt on last night's Monday Night Raw. Yes, please, there's been 2 fight pits, which was over in NXT if you didn't see it. They were a lot of fun, especially was it Kurt Angle referee the Riddle one? Was it Riddle and right. Your man Timothy Thatcher?
Dirty Curty hanging out.
Yeah. Good stuff. Wild. If you've not seen it before, go and check out the fight pit matches. They're going to kick the crap out of each other.
Yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about with things like War Games. It's like, don't have them on a date on your calendar that need to be fulfilled. And it's like, oh, coincidentally, we're here. Bring the stipulation up when the feud requires it. Boom, perfect. This stipulation is really fun. We've not seen it on the main roster. We've not seen one in a while. It's been used sparingly, so it feels fresh, feels interesting.
You'll get Riddle's MMA skills over again.
And I really believe that they hate each other.
Yes.
That's how it should work, not just going, hey, we've hit the calendar date, you must have a Hell in a Cell. This is perfect.
Happy Fight Pit Day.
More of this, less of that.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Let's move on to your Twitter questions. At WhatCulture WWE, of course, you want to get in touch with us. First question today comes Sean Acklin. Thank you, Sean, as always, for your question. Sean says, first, Wardlow's moment was stolen by MJF. Then MJF's moment was stolen by the All Out Fallout. Who is a wrestler that you hate had their moment stolen by forces outside of their control?
Hideo Itami in general in WWE. It's not really a moment, but like his entire first year, I guess, really. He comes in and it's like, oh, hey, brother, you can't use the go to sleep because CM Punk used that and that'll bring back memories to him. And then when he did bring it back, he hurt Brian Kendrick with it a few years later and he couldn't use it again. But that's a completely different point. And also, hey, you know those kicks and stuff you do in the Busaiku knee kick that you use and was your signature and all this? Can't use those either because those are Daniel Bryan's moves now, pal. So for me, like him not being able to be him in WWE would be like really near the top of that list because it sucked.
We were talking about this in the office. Someone said Kennedy losing his losing the ability to utilize his briefcase. I've got to agree with that one. So they did the whole you're injured, Ken. We're gonna have to take the briefcase off you. They took the briefcase off him. Immediately had Edge cash it in, and then they went, actually, we checked your injury. You're fine. He can come back within 2 weeks or whatever it bloody was. He was supposed to be out for nearly a year, and then all the energy just went out from under that.
Yeah.
And there was so much potential there. They had in his own words, he had a rocket up his ass. So shame about that.
Wardlow one's a really good example.
Yes. And MJF is the best.
Yeah.
Just simple.
Sure.
Second question today comes from John Harrison, who says, "Good Tuesday, boys. I hope you're both safe and well."
Good Tuesday.
Thanks, John. Logan Paul, a credible challenge or a Goldberg-style spear, one and done? Have a great day.
They're going to have a long match, yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, when I say long match, I mean longer than a Goldberg match.
Yes.
I think this is going to be tremendous fun.
This is going to be amazing.
Tremendous fun. Look, these shows are gross. They are propaganda tools. They are part of the Saudi Vision program, which is designed to rehabilitate the image of a country with a horrendous human rights record, and they are state-funded shows as well, which is the difference. If they were just going to Saudi Arabia and just running a show without being paid $50 million by the government,
yes,
fine, no problems. But here we are. So I've got to get that out of the way first.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
That being said, the match will be absolutely fantastic. I think it'll be a fun stunt show. The thing with these matches is I understand why a lot of people are like, why is this headlining? Well, WWE don't pretend that wins and losses mean anything, would be the response to that. And it's a guy with 2 matches having a main event title shot or whatever. I think Logan Paul's looked great in his 2 matches so far, and I think this will be a lot of fun.
I'm a big fan of Logan Paul. I really like what they've done with him. I also like the way that they've presented this. Not like, I'm as good as you, Roman. He didn't say that. He said, if I hit you with one, all I need's one lucky punch.
Yeah.
I'm going to punch his chance.
There you go.
And yeah, I think this is for, like you say, the silly, foreign, what's all this about? Tyson Fury's fighting Braun Strowman sort of thing.
It's like a freak show, isn't
Exactly.
it? It's like some of the fights that Pride used to book.
Yes.
Back in the day when that was like the top MMA promotion in Japan. Yeah, like crazy stuff.
And 100% there will be something that happens, was it November 5th, I think it is?
Yeah.
There's going to be something that happens on that show where I'm going to go, oh my God, Logan Paul's going to be the one to end Roman Reigns' streak.
They're going to have one perfectly timed kick
Yeah.
out, aren't they? Like, he's going to batter Paul Heyman. I think, like, look, if you put this on, like what's another pay-per-view? Extreme Rules or something. Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, really excited about this.
I think it's ace, honestly.
And I have no issue with Logan Paul going 10 minutes with Roman Reigns because, like you say, they're going to put on a great match. And just look at what Logan did at SummerSlam. Time has no meaning to me.
It would be really funny if he got squashed, though.
That would be
That
funny
would
as well.
also be funny. Yeah.
Also, we had him mentioned on SmackDown. How about we never talk about Jake Paul again because he's a massive arsehole.
Yeah,
Just a
I mean,
thought.
they both kind of are, but there's definitely levels, right? There's
But Logan
definitely
Paul makes
levels.
Prime, and Prime's delicious. I'm not
Okay.
being sponsored to say that. Just a fan. Right, final question
If
today.
he wants to sponsor
Hey,
us.
delicious.
After we've called him an arsehole.
Jonathan Rivera gives us our final question today.
Legend.
Guess why I picked this question, Andy?
Why is that?
Morning all you sexy-ass ginger and all bald and beautiful all-conquering bastards. That's how you get your questions asked, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Jonathan says, curious because one of you is a positive Pete and the other is more selective about his wrestling.
What? All right.
I think he basically says you have taste, and I just go,
I'm
whoa!
a negative creep in the
No.
words of Nirvana.
What do you say is the worst Mania of the modern era from WrestleMania 20 on, basically, says Jonathan.
Oh yeah, I mean we had this conversation in the office before we came on, and I think we're all kind of unanimous that it's WrestleMania 32, right?
32, yeah.
Like, I mean, I got the card here just to kind of run through the bad stuff on
Oh,
here.
thank you.
Like the New Day versus ladder match, fun, whatever.
Yes, great.
Jericho versus AJ was a good match, but like Jericho won and then AJ won the next night on Raw, so it was a bit weird.
AJ's first Mania, yeah.
That's right.
Set a tone for his weird Manias.
Yeah, hell of a run. The New Day versus the League of Nations, which was like just this weird thing where the League of Nations ended the next night because Wade was on his way out and all that stuff. That was odd.
We got a big box of Bootios. That's the best thing about that I remember.
You get the one-sided shellacking rubbish match that was Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose, which stunk for reasons we've gone over millions of times. Becky versus Sasha versus Charlotte was good.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon versus, this is where it starts going down the toilet. Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. I'm not talking about that.
How long was that match?
Yeah, like
an hour?
Well, I was 29 when it started, and by the time it ended, I was deep in my 40s. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, that was the year Baron Corbin won. It was like a nothing match.
That was the best because we like Baron
Andrew Pollard's favourite one, brother, because Tatanka was in it. So
of
there you
course.
go. Shout outs. Shaq was in there as well. Also teasing the match with the Big Show.
How did that work out?
Never happened.
That
Well, I
didn't
think Shaq is still in that ambulance, isn't he, in AEW? We got The Rock killing Eric Rowan in like a minute. Or
Right, The
whatever it
Rock,
was.
but that was
Set
rubbish.
that little.
Sorry, editors.
Set that little sign on fire.
That was that I'll allow that swear. Do you know why? Because that was incredibly accurate. Oh my God, The Rock's here. He set his name on fire.
It's a tiny little sign.
It's over. Everyone's pretty pissed.
A tiny little sign. It'd be like lighting a match and throwing it off the top floor of a building. That's what it looked like.
Dear.
And then, of course, the main event was just a complete catastrophe. Roman versus Triple H.
One Steph bump on it. That was it.
Failed coronation. So yeah, pretty miserable event. Mania for the past while has generally been pretty good. Even those like 8-hour shows, including the pre-show, there's usually been enough really good stuff on there to compensate. But this one, no.
Honourable mention to WrestleMania 27. That was pretty crap as well.
What was the one that was headlined by The Miz?
That was 27.
Oh, that was 27.
Yeah. And I love The Rock.
Yeah.
Had all The Rock plastered all
that
over
had
it. But...
Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole on it as well, didn't it?
Which would have been fine if you just gave Jerry Lawler his moment and then he went, haha, no, let's drag it on for another month.
If you did it for 30 seconds,
yeah,
fine, but goodness. Yes, that was not good, but most Manias are good.
Yes.
So there you go.
Even
36 in that stupid empty room had its moments.
Had some big fans. Let's move on to today's and finally. You've missed this, Andy. You've been very foolish. I'm going to pick up on the story that you missed. Breaking news. Courtesy of one Matt Cardona. He is returning to WWE, Andy. You didn't let me finish. WWE Network, that's right. He made his debut in Progress and defended and retained, I should say, the Internet Championship. I love Matt Cardona.
He's doing great things.
He is a brilliant git.
He's fantastic. He's done such a good job of like how he's presented himself since he left WWE with all the GCW stuff. Like that Nick Gage match was just incredible stuff. I love Matt Cardona. Watch the interview that we did with him over WrestleMania weekend. It's the best video we've ever put.
The only person who can swear at Simon Miller and get away with it, I think it's fair to say.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Anytime you want to be on, Matt, I would love to chat to you for slightly longer than 2 minutes whilst getting sworn at.
There's a subtext to that video as well about someone else being a bit upset that we will tell some other day.
Oh, on a live show that's not being taped, we'll reveal the secrets.
We'll reveal it when there's no cameras on.
Indeed. Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all today's news stories in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from. For daily wrestling podcasts, we're going to review Monday Night Raw and preview what is potentially the last ever NXT. A little bit later on today.
I hope it's the last ever.
Let us know your thoughts.
Do you want to see that again?
At what I'm still going to say, I'm just going to change the words.
It was the jump.
Gold! Follow us on Twitter. You can follow Andy Murray
at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for Herb.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. I even had I haven't even had a coffee yet.
Beer me that coffee.
I'm just happy on life today.
Sorry, I
have a good day today.
My friendship. Peace.
At WhatCulture WWE for all of us. Thanks,
I thought
Andy.
that was the end.
Thank you for joining us.
I said piss.
See you soon.